As most of you probably know, I have made a ton of videos where I have followed nothing. And of course, these videos where I quite literally put minimal effort into them because they're super easy to make, do amazing, and the ones I actually put a lot of thought and effort into, you know, who cares about those? But today, we're going to be following stuff. Because instead of following nothing but an empty, deep ocean void, we are going to be following the highest mountains in the game. I mean, let's go ahead and click unpause here. Yep, they're so high up that snow immediately begins forming on them. And we are going to be looking at this for the next 1,000 years. And I can't explain it, but looking at this is actually making me mildly uncomfortable for some reason. And even though we're actually following like pretty much the exact opposite of most of my other following nothing videos, it's going to function almost exactly the same because believe it or not, people can't live here. So as of right now, nothing's happening. Nothing's going to go on at all. But like usual, I have every single important world law turned on that maximizes the chance that will prevent us having to look at this for the next 1,000 years. In particular, the most important one is going to be the natural disasters, specifically earthquakes, because even though in my past videos we have seen that earthquakes will make the ground rise up even higher and form islands from the ocean, but they can also go down too, which means that they will create valleys where hopefully life can emerge, but that's going to be really difficult because in most cases, mobs won't even spawn in unless there's water next to it or near it. And since we're following the highest mountains, multiple earthquakes would have to hit the same spot just to make enough room for even water to get into. So this video is going to be very interesting, but also we finally have a little bit of help because since we're trying to go down instead of up now, meteorites will also get rid of some of the land, and even certain creatures that I'm not going to mention by name could spawn in with the death bomb trait and create even more land for us. But yeah, this whole time I have had the game unpaused. It's been about 4 years and, well, nothing has happened. Not a single creature, not a single death, just a few red clouds. And the reason the clouds are red is because I have made the world calendar the age of chaos around the clock, which maximizes the chance for natural disasters, which will hopefully help us out. But that's all I have to say for right now. There's not really a lot else to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and sim to year 250, 1/4 of the way to our goal. And we're going to hope that literally anything has happened. I'll see you guys then. And here we are at year 250, and shockingly, not a lot has happened. For the first time in any of these videos, at the first check-in, nothing has spawned in, nothing has died, nothing at all has truly happened. It's weird how the one video where I'm actually following something to start, nothing has happened yet. But hey, this is what you guys signed up for. I mean, like, honestly, what did you expect to happen? But there have been a few earthquakes here, less than what we usually see. Oh, well, I guess if an earthquake went up in the land level, we wouldn't really be able to tell here. But it's actually really cool to see all these smaller earthquakes here, especially with all the summit having the snow on it, so these little valleys are really easy to see. And I am seeing one area here where it seems 2 earthquakes hit, and we can see that soil has opened up to the surface along with plain soil, sand, and even a little spot where water can fill up. That's insane. And yes, I know, I'm probably way too happy to be looking at dirt right now. Obviously, a few other earthquakes have struck too, revealing a little bit of soil and even some minerals that'll be useful when civilizations form. Or maybe I should say, if civilizations form. But yeah, for right now, that's it. I literally have nothing else to talk about. There's so little going on that I can't even milk any more content out of this. So we're gonna have to go ahead and sim to year 500 and just see if anything is going on then, right? Honestly, if you're still watching this video, I don't even know why. But one thing I am going to do is I'm going to change a couple of these ages to the age of tears. And the reason I'm doing this, the age of tears allows rain to fall, which hopefully may fill up some of these void tiles, which may actually be able to create life, which is what we're going for. But like I said, we're going to sim halfway there to year 500, and I'll see you guys then. And here we are at year 500. A lot more earthquakes have obviously occurred, but nothing really much has happened again. However, if we do look up in this area again, we can see another earthquake is struck, and that's blue water right there. The Age of Tears actually worked. We have some water, and yep, 4 mobs. Let me guess, they're crabs. They're always crabs. It's like the old saying goes, when there's life, there's crabs. I mean, let's look at these guys. I can see 3 right here right now. Let's see who the oldest one is. This guy, Crackerbow. He's been alive for 139 years, so about half of that time lapse right there. Luckily, I do have hunger turned off, but yet he still consumed 1 food, which, you know, that's always concerning, especially considering the only other food here is crabs. But at this point, I'm kind of used to the crababolism, so let's just ignore it. But yep, that's it. There's just 4 crabs here. 2 crabs chilling in a hot tub about 1 foot apart because they might be gay. You know what I just realized? They're all female. Every single one of them. Since there's been no male crabs spawned in yet, they've had no chance to reproduce at all. So maybe if a male spawns in, they could get to work. But obviously, there's been a few other earthquakes. They have literally done nothing. I could care less about them. But this is fantastic. Since there's water, now maybe trees can start spawning in on the sand, hopefully, potentially paving the way for actual crab species to spawn in. And also, I want to point out one more thing. You guys may have noticed this during the time lapse, but if I unpause for a bit in the Age of Tears, yeah, the snow kind of gets really blinding. I'm not sure if that's on purpose, but it is literally glowing. So since we have all this water already, how about we replace these ages with the Age of Wonders? And I'm mainly only doing that because the Age of Wonders could possibly pave the way for actual sapient life similar to humans to spawn in, which I guess is our ultimate goal that we're going for. But anyway, we are going to sim ahead another 250 years to 3/4 of the way there at year 750, and hopefully there's more than just 4 crabs alive. I'll see you guys then. And here we are at year 750. I see it, you see it, we all see it. Actually, no, you can't because it's going to be zoomed in the video. But we have sapient people now. We have 4 sapient people, which means they're human-like. I'm going to take a wild guess here. They're probably crabs. But let's zoom in and see. Our little area here has gotten even more developed. And there's green. There's 30 vegetation. Do we have trees? We have cactuses. Oh, something grew on the sand, but since there was no water next to it, cactuses grew instead. I guess that does make sense as well. We have not seen that in one of our videos yet, but even though the plants here have very limited room to work with, I mean, they have been seeping through the cracks everywhere. They're expanding wherever they can, which is just awesome. And yep, I do see a sapient crab right here, 66 years old. Her name is Kakba, and she is currently sleeping because, I mean, there's nothing else really to do. And it seems like a couple of more earthquakes have actually struck this area over here pretty nice. Honestly, this would be a great place to like vacation or hang out. This is pretty thick. But you know, one weird thing is I haven't seen like any meteor impacts really at all. Like, I'm not sure if maybe I just don't notice their impacts anywhere, but watching these time lapses, I haven't seen anything. And you know, over here, another earthquake has intersected with another one, which has given some nice land for life to potentially develop from, who knows. But since we only have 250 years left, the impacts of this video might be limited. I know I probably should have done this video for longer, but after following nothing for 10,000 years, I'm not exactly eager to do it again, which is why we're back at 1,000 years. But we have another sapient crab right here in the water. That doesn't really look like a crab to me. What is that? Oh yeah, that's exactly what a crab looks like. Yep, the picture is identical. I can't even tell the difference. Okay, so yeah, this crab here is actually all alone in its species and has the tentacle mutation. But yeah, I am terrified. And you know what's the worst part about this really? Is that this tentacle creature can't leave water. So it's stuck here in this 1x1 pool of shallow water for literally the rest of eternity because I don't even have old age turned on. And I guess I did pick the world law that made all the subspecies traits random. And I guess that goes for their diet too. And one interesting part of their diet is, you know, they eat fruits. They like some leaves and plants if they can find them. Maybe some algae in the water, and then just casual cannibalism. cannibalism. But that actually explains a lot. I'm not actually very surprised at all, really. But once again, that is quite literally all that is going on here. We are now going to sim the last 250 years here to year 1000 to just see what the final result is going to look like. I think that there's a chance if one more earthquake strikes like right here, right where my mouse is, there might be enough room for these crab guys to make a kingdom. Only time will tell, and I'll see you guys at year 1000. And here we are at year 1000. A lot has changed, but obviously I'm not stupid. A kingdom actually formed. The kingdom of Biak. They've existed for about 100 years, and their motto is food is fine. You know, that's actually probably the tamest motto I've ever seen. Yep, food is indeed pretty tasty. It's pretty good. It has 9 people, and it also happens to have 9 homeless people too. I guess they don't have any buildings. Interestingly enough, it has 7 of the actual like human-like crabs, and then 2 of the squid-like crabs. I guess they're just chilling in the water right here. Speaking of that, we have palm trees everywhere, as a matter of fact. Well, like I said, they must have spawned in here on the sand, and thanks to the Roots Without Borders world law, after they spawned there, they began spreading everywhere, and now they're actually kind of competing with the cactuses for 2 different plant types, which I don't mind. I'm glad we have any plants at all. And wow, a lot has changed here. Here's what it looked like at the start. Boring, lame, a bunch of mountains, and here is it now. A lot brighter, like it actually hurts my eyes to look at this. And there's still a lot of mountains, don't get me wrong, but same with a lot of new land. Holy crap, these guys can walk the whole time? I thought they were stuck in water. This looks terrifying. I'm not gonna lie, this is like actually scary as hell. But finally, 3 creatures did end up dying in total too. And you know, considering there wasn't a lot of creatures to begin with, that must have been really sad for everyone. But how did they die? Oh, they were eaten. And considering the only creatures that have ever existed during this whole video was crabs, I think it's pretty easy to connect the dots there. But like I was saying, this video actually would be a lot more insane if it was for 10,000 years, but I'm gonna need some motivation to do that. So if this video gets 10,000 likes, I'll do it. And I'm sure we'll get more than one crappy little kingdom here, but I'm still happy with the result. And that's about it for today. I'll see you guys in the next one. Farewell.